Throughout the Bible, we see powerful men of God, prophets, priests, and kings who walked closely with the Lord. They performed miracles, led nations, and spoke directly with God. But surprisingly, some of these great men had children who turned out very different from their fathers. Instead of following the path of righteousness, their children chose corruption, rebellion, and sin. Today, we will look at great men of God whose children became a disappointment, and the powerful lessons their stories teach us. 1. Eli, the priest whose sons were corrupt. Our first example is Eli, a respected priest and judge of Israel. Eli served faithfully in the house of God. He mentored the young prophet Samuel and helped guide the nation spiritually. But Eli had two sons, Hophni and Phinehas. These two men were priests, yet the Bible describes them as wicked. They abused their priestly position by stealing offerings meant for God and committing immoral acts in the temple. Their corruption became so serious that God pronounced judgment on Eli's family. Eventually, both sons died in battle on the same day, and Eli's entire lineage lost the priesthood. Even a faithful servant of God can suffer the heartbreak of rebellious children. 2. Samuel, the great prophet with dishonest sons. Next is the prophet Samuel, one of the most respected leaders in Israel's history. Samuel was known for his obedience to God from childhood. He anointed kings and guided the nation with wisdom. But sadly, his sons Joel and Obijah did not follow his example. Instead of leading Israel with integrity, they accepted bribes and twisted justice for personal gain. Because of their corruption, the elders of Israel rejected their leadership and demanded a king instead. This decision eventually led to the rise of Saul as Israel's first king. Samuel was a righteous man, but his sons walked a different path. 3. David, the man after God's heart with rebellious sons. Perhaps the most famous example is David, the king whom the Bible calls a man after God's own heart. David defeated Goliath, wrote many of the Psalms, and led Israel to greatness. Yet his family life was full of tragedy. One of his sons, Amnon, committed a terrible crime against his sister. Another son, Absalom, rebelled against David and tried to take the throne by force. Absalom even declared himself king and led a rebellion that plunged Israel into civil war. In the end, Absalom died during the conflict, leaving David heartbroken and crying out, "Oh, my son Absalom, my son Absalom." Despite David's greatness, his family suffered painful consequences. For Hezekiah, the good king whose son was evil. Another example is Hezekiah, one of the most faithful kings of Judah. Hezekiah restored worship in the temple and trusted God during times of national crisis. But his son Manasseh became one of the most wicked kings in Israel's history. Manasseh introduced idol worship, practiced witchcraft, and even sacrificed children. His actions led the nation deep into spiritual darkness. A godly father does not always guarantee godly children. Conclusion: powerful lesson. These stories teach a sobering truth. Even the greatest men of God cannot force their children to follow God. Every person must choose their own path. But these stories also remind us that parenting requires not only teaching but constant guidance, prayer, and discipline. And most importantly, they remind us that no family is perfect even in the Bible. The real lesson is this: faith must be personally chosen, not simply inherited. Outro. If you found this story powerful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who love learning the deep truths hidden in the Bible. And remember, sometimes the greatest spiritual battles happen not on battlefields but inside our own families.